Hey everyone, I'm back, and today we're going to be talking about Erin Brockovich, if I pronounced that correctly. And this movie is directed by Steven Soderbergh and stars Julia Roberts, and Aaron Eckhart is in the movie as well. And I didn't realize it was him until the end credits. And I liked this movie. I thought it was decent, like a lot of Steven Soderbergh movies. I usually thoroughly enjoy his movies for the most part. And my favorite film from him would be Side Effects. I think that movie's great, and there's a lot of films that he's made that I haven't seen yet, but I'm glad to say that this is also a good movie, even if I don't love it. And I thought Julia Roberts was really great in this movie, and she has a lot to work with, and with her being the main character, she goes through a lot, and her character is also well established, and the way it's performed makes the character believable, and I thought she did a really great job, and everyone else was good in it too, except for the child actors. I didn't think that they were anything stand out. Luckily, they're not in the whole movie, but when they're on screen, they don't really add anything to the movie. I like most of the characters. Some of them are a little unlikable in a very cartoonish way, but most of the characters I do like, and I like what each character brings out of our main character. This movie could easily fall into the trap of being very stereotypical. Oh, things are going bad for our main character and she loses everything, and that doesn't really happen in the way that you would expect, and the way the movie is structured is a bit odd, I found, because 40 minutes in, and that's basically where the second act low point would happen in any other movie, but instead that's where it happens in this movie. Sure, you could say that this movie is just different, but the way it was presented, it felt a bit odd and abrupt, and that's one of my criticisms with the movie, is that the way the movie is structured is a bit weird, and it feels like there are parts of the movie that are missing, and when certain things happen, I didn't really care all that much. Like, I wasn't really emotionally attached to a lot of what was going on in the story. And I'm not saying that I didn't care what was going on. It was more of a case where, like, the structure of it was kind of just preventing me from being, like, fully into it, if that makes sense. And I do think that the first 40 minutes were a bit of a chore to sit through, because that's where the movie is kind of sloppy for me. Especially with everything that I've said. Like, pretty much all of my issues with the movie are in the first 40 minutes. So if you're willing to suffer through 40 minutes of just nonsense, then it's a good movie. Like, it does get better as it goes along, and once the story officially starts, that's when the movie really starts to get good for me. And I wish that I could call this movie great had it not been ruined by an awkward structure and 40 minutes of me just not caring about what's going on, especially with it being the first 40 minutes of the movie. And in that first 40 minutes, there were parts of it where I was laughing at the movie and not with it, because it was just so seriously toned, and some of the characters were a bit over the top, in my opinion, and I just couldn't take them seriously. And they were a bit annoying and kind of useless, but as the movie goes on, you start to like them, and things get better, fortunately. And this movie also does the could you pay me in advance type thing, like in the first 40 minutes as well. Like in Spider-Man 2, that was a gag, and in this movie it's done completely seriously. I know Spider-Man 2 came out after this movie, but at this point, I can't really take something like that seriously, unfortunately, because Spider-Man 2 has kind of ruined it for me and has been memed throughout, and yeah. But I would still recommend that you check this movie out. I know I haven't said too many positives about it. Most of my notes are negatives, but it's mainly just that first 40 minutes. And the rest of the movie is solid. There's about 80 minutes of this movie that I really liked. And it had the woman from Two and a Half Men in it. And she was good. And I liked where the story went overall. And I was into it and curious to see where it would go. I wasn't bored, and I was always with it. So check this movie out if you're willing to suffer through 40 minutes, the first 40 minutes. And yeah, that's about all I have to say about it. So with all that being said, I'm going to give Erin Brockovich a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos. As always, if you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below your thought of Erin Brockovich, and my social media links. They will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Foley Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for Poor Things. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.